Ever felt like you want to quit something or feel like you have hit the rock bottom or doesn't even have any energy to continue further? Well, if you are someone who's feeling like this, make sure to watch this video till the end. Also, even though you feel like you want to quit, doesn't have the desire to proceed further, you can feel that the universe always sends you a sign or a message to keep going. Well, it is one such day where I am filled with mood swings, but then all of a sudden I came across a story, and let me tell you the story first because I thought of like writing the story like in hints so that it is like very touching for me. So I thought like let me make a reminder of it, so every time I feel low I can actually look into it. But I thought like there might be some people who would feel the same way, so I thought of coming here immediately and telling it to you. So are you ready to listen to the story? Well, let's begin, shall we? It is a story about Franz Kafka. So at the age of 40, Franz Kafka remained unmarried and he did not have any children. While he was walking through a park in Berlin, he found a little child to be crying in the corner. Well, Kafka didn't know what to do, but still he went near this little girl and he asked for the reason. This little girl stated that she has lost her doll and it could be found nowhere. So Kafka thought like, okay, like let's begin this search party. So together Kafka and this little girl started searching for this doll everywhere. Unfortunately, they couldn't find this doll anywhere, but then Kafka doesn't want to like say something negative, so he stated that on the very next day in the same place at the same time together they can once again start searching for the same doll. Just as he stated, the very next day the girl turned up in the same location and at the same time. Once again they started searching, still their search was unsuccessful. But this time Kafka gave this little girl a letter. He stated that the letter was from the doll itself. So the girl was happily and excitedly, she opens the letter, and in that letter it is mentioned that the doll has actually looking forward for certain adventures and it was all set to travel. Yes, it means that the doll has traveled somewhere, and it also promised that it will keep writing to her regularly. So the girl is now all right, and after this starts a very beautiful story, more like an adventure. So Kafka would visit this girl, and while visiting this girl he would come with the letter as if the letter has arrived from the little doll. So while reading this letter we could see that the doll actually mentions about a lot of adventures, the places visited, and the human beings or people that it has met. All the adventures were mentioned. The little girl will very much affectionately listen to all these stories, and in a very dreamy way and in a happy note the girl will also leave the place. So this continued for some time, and one fine day Kafka went to some other place and found a doll kind of similar to the doll which the girl has lost. So he bought the doll and he came to Berlin. So he gave the doll to the girl, and this girl, of course the owner will spot the difference, like, so the girl says that this is not the same doll, it has changed completely. For which once again Kafka gives a letter, and when the girl opened the letter states that my travels have changed me. It is as if the doll has traveled to every place and all the traveling experience has changed the doll. So the girl now happily hugs the doll and takes it home. After this, a year later, Kafka dies. And then the years rolled, and when this little girl grew into an adult, one fine day she happens to see this doll. So when she like takes the doll, she affectionately remembers all the things that happened during her childhood, like the interaction between her and Kafka. At the time, she found a little note inside the doll, and when she took it, it was from Kafka himself. So the doll states that this is something really good. It states that all the things that you love will get lost someday, but it will return to you in some way or the other. It's beautiful, right? With that, the story ends. Now, moving back to something that I stated earlier, you might feel like you are in the verge of quitting or you want to give up, you have hit the rock bottom, but the universe always sends you a message to keep going. So that is what I wanted to tell you. So as I told you, I was like with a lot of mood swings, like things are going really bad. So I was like thinking like, is this all worth it? Should I give up? Is it like both my time, energy, and everything. And I happen to read this story, so I do take this as a sign from the universe that it wants to keep me going further. So things change. Change is inevitable because this change is really essential for our growth. So that is what the story of Kafka actually tells. It's a real life story. I do like Kafka, but after reading this excerpt, especially during this time, made me love Kafka. So it is essential to remember that everything you love or like may get lost, but doesn't matter. It will return to you in one form or the other, might even return in a better way. So keep that trust, keep that hope, keep moving forward. So this is something I want to share to you. You might also be going through something like this, which might uplift you. That's all for the day. So if you feel like this story is like impressive, and if you know someone who's going through something similar, make sure to share it, because my friend shared it through WhatsApp. For some reason, I'm not sure, but it created an impact within me. So it might change the way they see things at their point or right now. And make sure to subscribe the channel so that you will get all the updates then and there. Until that, stay safe and make healthy choices. Bye.